Yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. This video here is for the Detroit Pistons fans. Let me just be 100% clear with you. Ausar Thompson not only is going to be starting on opening night, but he's going to be the focal point for this franchise moving forward. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Look, I needed to do this video because sometimes I think in the basketball world, fans get enamored with the offensive side of the game. And what they fail to recognize and understand is all the other components of it. Not just the defensive end, but the financial end, the organizational end, what it means to build or try to build a championship team. And what that means is you have to have people who play certain pivotal roles on a team. And the role that Ausar Thompson is already showing us that he is elite at. There are few players in the NBA who can do what he's already showing the ability to do at a high level. Let me just start off by saying Ausar Thompson, more and more, I think at first people started comparing him to Ron Artest because of his defense, but I want to take it a little bit further. I think he reminds me a little bit more of like a Scottie Pippen. And the reason why I say Scottie Pippen is because of his basketball IQ on both ends of the court and his ability to fit in to a system, to fit into an environment where guys are still figuring themselves out, and his ability to assess what the need is and to fill that need. When Scottie Pippen left Arkansas, he was a scorer. He was the team captain. He was the individual who they were looking to be the offensive focal point because of his athleticism, his scoring ability to get out there and transition and create offense for himself. When he got to the Bulls, they said, you know what? We got this other guy here named Michael Jordan. We don't need that from you. What we need is somebody who can fill in alongside of him. And Scottie Pippen used all of that talent to literally do everything else. Yes, he scored, but he was not the primary offensive focal point. And he didn't necessarily ask to be throughout the beginning of his career in Chicago. He filled in every other aspect. And when you look at Ausar Thompson, what he's doing already is he's filling in every other aspect of what this team needs. A lot of people are pointing to Bojan Bogdanovich and his ability to spread the floor and create spacing offensively, which is great. But you know what you probably need more than that? Is a defensive player who can guard multiple positions at a high level. There are maybe a handful of players who have the energy, the athleticism, the strength, the length, the timing, the defensive acumen and IQ to be able to guard multiple positions in the NBA. Not just guard multiple positions, but guard the best in the NBA at those positions. And when I say guard them, I don't mean shut them down, but I mean the team does not have to say, we're going to have to take all 5 guys to just contain this guy because we have nobody who can slow them down. We have nobody who can make it hard for them. We have nobody who can stay in front of them. And for the Detroit Pistons, not only do they have that guy, but he is the only guy that they have who can do that. And that is first and foremost why he's going to be starting on open night. Because when you have to go up against the Boston Celtics, the Chicago Bulls, Indiana Pacers, when you have to go up against the Milwaukee Bucks, when you have to go up against the Miami Heat, when you have to go up against teams that have elite perimeter scorers, and you have nobody who can even remotely stay in front of them, you turn into the Charlotte Hornets. You turn into one of the worst defenses in the NBA. You turn into the Sacramento Kings. You turn into a team that does not have a hope and a prayer of winning in the playoffs. Because to win in the playoffs, you have to have defense and you have to have elite defensive personnel. And so first and foremost, Ausar Thompson is going to be starting because of his defensive abilities, which are already elite. It's going to remind a lot of you of how Herb Jones for the New Orleans Pelicans started off last season as a rookie, where very quickly people were saying this guy is going to be an elite defender for the rest of his career. He's going to be an all-NBA defensive player. First team, second team, he's already that as a rookie. That right there sets you apart. The second reason why he's going to be starting is because of his ability to facilitate. I'm not quite sure what it is. I love Cade Cunningham. I think we all love Cade Cunningham, especially in the Detroit Pistons fandom. But there's something awkward about when he is bringing the ball up consistently. He has a habit of getting ripped by smaller, quicker guards. And I think it's that in-between part where he's not quite sure if he's should focus on facilitating or if he should be focused on scoring. And I think that he needs to tap in a little bit more into that Luka Doncic in his game to keep guys honest. Because when he gets too focused on facilitating and setting up the offense, they're able to get up underneath him. And because he's playing passively, looking for the pass, they're able to get their hands on the ball. And I think that that's something he's going to have to adjust to. But the reality is that he's probably the main person on that team who's going to be able to facilitate consistently. Now, I know Killian Hayes had a great second preseason game. I know. And he had a pretty good first game. Okay. And Jaden Ivey facilitated pretty good last season. I mean, he was solid. It's definitely not your long-term solution. Definitely don't want him doing that on a full-time basis. But he was solid enough. And you could tell it did not come natural to him. You could tell it was not necessarily something in his DNA to do, to set other guys up. In fact, I think we saw more of his pure nature in the last preseason game because Jaden Ivey, I think he shot it almost every single time he touched the ball in the first half. I don't know if y'all witnessed that, but I counted he only passed it 3 times. It was ridiculous. I was like, come on. This has to be either the coach doing this on purpose or he is just tripping. But I digress. When you look at Ausar Thompson, and this is another comparison for Scottie Pippen, is that he has that ability to facilitate the offense, to start it, whether it's off the rip on a rebound or just simply getting it inbounds to him to bring up the court. He sees the floor. He's got a confident and competent handle. And I think actually as time goes on, they're going to start asking him to be more aggressive offensively attacking the rim because he has a great ability not just to see the floor, but to make the correct pass and to make the correct pass well. Meaning that when he's driving, he sees the open shooters in the corners and the help defense rotating because he has the athleticism to beat his man. And he has the acumen to anticipate the rotation of the defense to make sure that he gets the pass to the correct guy, whether it's kicking out to the corner, whether it's dumping off to a big, whether it's kicking back out to the top of the key. He sees the pass before it happens and makes the correct read almost every single time. It's something really to watch. The other reason why I think he's going to be starting from opening night is because of his ability to rebound the ball. His rebounding from that position, when you can grab 6 to 8 rebounds a game, that is elite at the forward position, especially when you're guarding multiple players, which means that it kind of alleviates the need for Isaiah Stewart to be out there, which I think that is where the real battle is going to be with Bojan Bogdanovich, is do you play Bojan as a small ball 4 next to Ausar and Jalen Duren? Because Bojan doesn't necessarily rebound at a high, he can rebound, but he doesn't rebound at a high rate. He's giving you somewhere around 5, right? 4 to 5, and you're lucky if he gets up to 6, right? But if you got Ausar grabbing 6 to 8, and then Duren grabbing 9 to 12, you can cover your rebounding that you need and still have the spacing. Now, another component that I really love about Ausar Thompson's game is he's amazing in transition, not just with the ball in his hands, but also without the ball. His athleticism and ability to get out on the break, along with Jaden Ivey, allows guys like Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren to look for those early outlets to those guys just running up, streaking up the floor and catching defenses on their heels. Even when they get back, if they are not fully set, both of those guys can find the seams and get to the rim. I love that you already see Ausar Thompson challenging centers at the rim, even though he got it blocked a couple times. But he's still challenging. He's still letting them know, I'm coming for the rim. And that type of pressure begins to suck defenses in. And I think we're going to start seeing that he actually has a tremendous amount of gravity on the offensive end, where teams are going to have to be kind of braced for his athletic attacks to the rim. We see that with Jaden Ivey already more and more, where teams are recognizing, yo, this guy is a blur. We can't stay in front of him. So we're going to have to be ready collectively. And that collective focus on an offensive player is what opens up the court for everybody else. You see, there's more than one way to open up the offense outside of merely shooting. And being able to get to the rim with the ability to finish and the athleticism to get there also opens things up for shooters, which means that guys like Cade and Ivy, and even a little bit of Duren and Bogdanovich are going to have the opportunity to get open three-point looks because of the gravity that Ausar creates when he's on the break or when he's attacking the rim. You see, when you begin to calculate all these different things that Ausar Thompson is bringing, it makes his shooting less and less of an issue. In fact, similar to Herb Jones, where they're just going to be like, hey, you know what? Shoot the open ones because you're out there so much and you're doing so much for us already that we just need you to put it up every once in a while. We're not even, to be honest, we're not even focused on that with you. We just want you to put the ball up. And because Ausar Thompson was already a shooter in high school and with overtime elite, that's what he was known for, was his ability to shoot. I think that's something that's going to come back at a high level, which we already see his ability to knock it down, right, at a decent rate, because most rookies don't shoot the ball well. Let's just be clear about that. But I think what we're seeing is that he is going to be able to grow into the player he's already been while already playing to all these other strengths. As I've said before, Ausar Thompson and Amen Thompson are guys that overtime elite, when they wanted to do this documentary, when they were thinking about the crescendo of this league that they had started and this program that they had developed, they looked at these two young men and said, these two are the individuals that we believe we can hang our hat on, that we can say, you know what? They will take us where we're trying to go. And I think for the Detroit Pistons, they have to be looking at Ausar Thompson and saying, this is the type of young man who can take us to where we're trying to go. His character, his work ethic, his malleability, his coachability, his team-first mindset, on top of his athleticism and diverse skill set on both ends of the court, make him an invaluable asset on this team. I fully expect him to not only start, but he might be getting 30 to 35 minutes a game off top. Because as I said, there's no one else who can do what he does. There's no one else switching on defense. There's no one else able to cover 1 through 4. The best at 1 through 4. He was able to stay in front of Russell Westbrook at the Rico Hines. He was able to stay in front of Devin Booker and frustrate him. He was able to stay in front of Kevin Durant and stay in front of him. He was able to stay in front of, it did not matter. He was strong enough. He was long enough. He was quick enough. He was smart enough to stay in front of the best in preseason. He hasn't even started his rookie year yet in the regular season, and he's already doing this. Ausar Thompson is here to stay, and he's going to be great for the Detroit Pistons. But as always, I want to know what you all think. Holler at me in the comment section. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I appreciate it if you stay with me through the end of the video. And I'm going to holler at y'all next time. Peace.